Okay, welcome. My name is Dr. Vince Leone of Specialized Practice, and we got one of our great clients, one of our new great clients here, Dr. Ross Reynolds. Hey, Dr. Ross, how are you today?
Doing great.
Appreciate you taking the time to kind of go through these questions on our case study. Um, and let's just dive into it. First question. Before you joined Specialized Practice, with decompression specifically, what were you struggling with the most?
Well, it wasn't as quite busy as what I wanted it to be. And I wanted to be busy, but I had to have a way to be able to get to that point. It was doing okay, but I wanted it definitely busier.
Okay. Um, and were you specifically looking to, grow more cash services versus the insurance side?
Oh, absolutely. So every year, insurance companies they require more and more, and they reimburse less and less every single year. It might be just a little bit every single year, but yeah, I was getting tired of working with insurance companies all the time.
Yeah. In terms of the decompression and trying to get that growing, because you already had a table, and doctors come in at all levels with us. Some have one table, some have four tables, some have no table. So you had one table, you were already doing it. Had you tried something else prior to working with us to try to grow decompression?
Well, initially, I read the research about decompression. I was super interested in getting one table because I thought it would be such a great benefit to my patients. So over the 2 years before I joined with specialized practices, I had a fairly successful decompression table, but I wanted to be able to grow that more and more. So when I joined you guys, yeah, then it really did explode.
So let's see, you joined us about 2 months ago. Do you want to share what you've generated in revenue and decompression since then?
Yeah, so it's the most successful. I've owned my clinic since 2013, and this is the most successful 2 months I've ever had. Since joining December 3rd, I've made over $50,000 just in decompression
Amazing.
protocols.
I love it. I love it. Um, I know you were a little nervous about joining because obviously there's an investment. What made you decide to move forward anyways?
Well, you're there until we get the $15,000 back, right? So $15,000 was like, oh boy, right? So I went home and talked to my wife, and she's like, I think we should do it. He's offering a guarantee until you make the $15,000 back. He'll continue to work with you until you do that. And I mean, I think we accomplished that within 3 weeks.
I was really impressed with the support that your wife showed. That was awesome because
Yeah.
it seems like
Well,
spouses aren't always on board.
well, the way that me and my wife we always talk about it, I present something to her and I say, I don't want a quick yes or a quick no,
Hmm.
but I want to talk about this and I want you to do your own research and then we'll come together and we'll discuss it. And it's not going to be just this quick thing. I think I thought about it for at least a month and a half before I end up joining with you guys.
Yeah, I always tell doctors there's no hard sell, right? It's like take your time. I want it to be a good fit for both of us. It doesn't make sense. And, we win when you guys win. So, and I believe, we probably sent over a bunch of material that we have. And is that what you
Yeah.
shared with your wife?
Yeah. And then I was listening to the Specialized Practices podcast. And I initially found you on Facebook, and then I looked in the podcast, and I started listening to your podcast, and I'm like, wow, this is something I can do, right? They're making a lot of sense. They're not pushy. They're giving us good information. They're doing all these different informational things that I could easily do. I do think it benefited me that I had a decompression table
Hmm.
prior and then offer or asking for people for cash-based services because I was already doing it. I had no problem asking people for cash-based programs for anybody.
Yeah. 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 I knew that from the beginning. That was great. So for you, what was your biggest hesitation before joining?
The $15,000
Just the
dollars,
money? Yeah.
just the money. But I felt like I'm driven enough and educated enough about it that it was going to happen.
It's interesting. What I found both in my own life and because I have coaches all the time, and with clients is when when you do make an investment, a couple things happen. One, you tell yourself that you're worth it, right? So, but also it's motivating. You're like, hey, I'm
Yeah,
putting in this money. I got a 90-day sprint. I'm going to go all in. And so that tends to create a lot of momentum for doctors. So, and it certainly has for you. So that was kind of cool to see. Um, what surprised you the most once you got into the program and the material?
um, I would say the how quick we grew right after starting to listen to it. The Alchemico ROF, I'll listen to that from work and back from work because I think there's a lot of great information on there. My favorite part of about it all is when you say, "Tell them the price," and then be quiet and don't say a word. So I think that's a really neat part of it. But there's a lot of great information in the whole product that you offer on specialized practices. From
Um,
the beginning of the consult to the ROF and exactly what to say. The four horsemen is a wonderful thing. It all works really, really well together.
Awesome. Awesome. I love that. Yeah, I always tell doctors like, especially when we've been in practice for 15, 20, 30 years, you kind of get used to doing like just a very simple ROF, right? And that just typically doesn't fly when you're asking for 3 grand, 5 grand, 7 grand, that type of
Correct.
cases. Um, was there a specific change that seemed to make the biggest difference in your results? A specific change
Yeah.
that you
So,
made?
oh yeah. So like the video. So we do the phone conversation, and then we have them watch the videos, and then we'll do the free consult with the X-ray MRI review. And then I'll just say to them, I think you're a great candidate for this program. And then I'll say, let's go into the exam. And all that stuff works really, really well together. I wasn't doing any of that before. And then to do an official sit down and report of findings with people and taking your time to do that, to really go over the whole program extensively with them and in detail is huge.
That's awesome. I love that. Um, yeah, I had a mentor that once told me a confused mind will say no, and so that's why in the ROF we're just trying to be super thorough so that there's complete clarity for the patient about what's wrong with their body, why other things are not going to solve the problem, and where decompression is going to make that transformation for them. Um, Other than the revenue, right? Obviously, revenue is great, but is there any other win or specific result that you'd like to share since joining?
Well, I was really hesitant about wearing scrubs, but I made the dive, and I really love that too. It's they're super comfortable. They look really professional. Because we're in a small town, Iowa here too. I was kind of worried about what people are going to say or think, but so far it's been really, really great, and I've seen some great success with patients already.
I love that. Um, Going through this so far, you've only been in the program 2 months, but has it changed any way you think, as a doctor and a business owner?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I
How
mean,
so?
it makes you elevate your game to want to be the better doctor. I want to learn more about it and how better I can help patients, right? Just the simple tweaks to a 5-degree tilt on the table compared to a 10, and how we can get people better faster with great results. Yeah, absolutely.
Who do you think would not be a good fit for the program?
Somebody who doesn't want to grow their practice.
Well, here's what I know about you. You've put in the work, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
you and I always admire that about what you've done, and those are the most successful doctors, the doctors that just kind of follow the game plan, right, and put in the work. But what you were saying, hey, I listen to the stuff on the way to work and on the way back to work. I'm listening to the podcast. I'm doing all this type of stuff. Um, I feel like doctors who are looking for some type of easy button,
Yeah.
this is not the program for them.
No, this I wouldn't recommend it for that, right? I was taking my computer home every night. I was going through all the videos that you were recommending to watch. I was writing things down. I was taking notes. If you're willing to put the work in to do it, you're going to see success with the program. But if you feel like, yeah, you just sign up and you don't do anything, Well, that's what you're going to get out of it too. You're probably not going to get much out of it.
Yeah, agreed. What would you say to a doctor out there who's on the fence right now? There's a lot of doctors we've talked to in the past, or they've seen our ads, or they've been to our decompression summit. What would you say to a doctor's on the fence
Take the
with
leap.
the decision, you know?
Yeah, take the leap. What else do you have to lose? You're going to work with your client until you've made that money back. $15,000 may seem like a lot, but if you're guaranteeing that and you're going to continue to back the person that decided to do it, yeah, do it. Take the leap. Most people don't have the fortitude to do it, and I think that's what separates great businesses from just average.
Yeah, I think that's a good point because the sad truth is not everybody wins, right? Most people kind of stumble along, right? Not well, maybe not stumble along, but they just kind of they're doing 15, 20, 25,000 a month. And it just does, you do need to be a motivated doctor to, if you want to go up into that top 20% or 10% or 5%, it's um yeah, fortitude. I think that's a very good word. It does take getting out of your comfort zone. I feel like if you want to get results that you've never had before, you're going to need to do something different. And we've all heard the saying, hey, if you do the same thing, you'll get the same result. Well, we have to try something different. The good news is there is a proven model. It's just a matter of, hey, do you want to make the investment? Not only the investment in financially, but the investment in time and kind of commitment to grow. I think the good news is when you do, practice gets a lot more fun.
Yeah, I would agree with you 100% on all of that.
So, well, thank you, Doctor. I appreciate you taking the time and sharing your experience with us, and looking forward to continuing to work together.
All right, thanks so much.